Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have several news topics to discuss in this video. So I am calling a red alert because these are all Star Trek news stories, including 2 new Star Trek novels announced from Simon & Schuster, and a new Star Trek TV show, or rather I should say an old Star Trek TV show that is returning in a new way. That's very exciting. So let's start with the book news because this is a book channel and I like to talk about books here. The first news is that Dayton Ward has a new Star Trek The Next Generation novel that ties in with the Star Trek Deep Space Nine series that is titled Pliable Truths. Here is what Dayton said about the book on his Facebook page. Quote, 2369. Shortly after Starfleet thwarts a Cardassian attack on a Federation star system, the Cardassian government orders an end to its 50-year occupation of the planet Bajor. As a result, a newly installed Bajoran government requests immediate assistance from the Federation to mediate how the withdrawal will proceed and what recompense, if any, Bajorans are owed from their brutal oppressors. Captain Jean-Luc Picard is ordered by Starfleet Command to oversee these tense negotiations on Terek Nor, the massive Cardassian space station orbiting Bajor, even as he still deals with his own recent trauma as a prisoner held and tortured by a Cardassian interrogator. As these critical peace talks get underway, Ensign Ro Laren receives a call for help from a friend thought long dead, exposing an insidious secret from inside Cardassian space. Now, Picard and the crew of the Starship Enterprise must act to prevent an interstellar incident from reigniting deadly hostilities between the Federation and the Cardassians, and shattering any hope of justice for the Bajoran people. Coming May 2024 from Gallery Books. We don't have a cover quite yet for this book, but we do know it's coming in May of 2024, so it's the second book that will release next year. We have the new David Mack Star Trek Picard tie-in, which is focused on 7 of 9 that comes out in February, and then this book comes out in May. But I'm very excited to have this book come out, because I think getting back to having novels set in the old series is really necessary, especially since there's so much stories they can still tell. But wait, there's more. We also have a new book announced for author Greg Cox, who hasn't written a Star Trek novel since 2020, roughly 4 years ago. His new book is titled Lost to Eternity, featuring the original series crew in the movie era. Here is the write-up from Simon & Schuster's website. Quote, 3 eras, 3 mysteries, 1 ancient enemy. 2024. Almost 40 years ago, marine biologist Gillian Taylor stormed away from her dream job at Sausalito's Cetacean Institute and was never seen or heard from again. Now, a true crime podcast has reopened that cold case, but investigator Melinda Silver has no idea that her search for the truth about Gillian's disappearance will ultimately stretch across time and space and attract the attention of a ruthless obsessive with his own secret agenda. In the year 2268, the USS Enterprise's 5-year mission is interrupted when Captain James T. Kirk and his crew set out to recover an abducted Federation scientist whose classified secrets are being sought by the Klingons as well. The trail leads to a barbaric world off-limits to both Starfleet and the Klingon Empire, and an ageless mastermind on a quest for eternity. The year 2292. At the Osari, an ancient alien species has finally agreed to establish relations with its much younger neighbors, the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulans. A joint mission involving ships from all 3 powers, including the Enterprise A, turns explosive when one of the Osari and her envoys is apparently killed. Each side blames the others, but the truth lies buried deep, nearly 300 years in the past. This book is scheduled for release in July of 2024. I am personally very excited for this book, as I think Greg Cox is a terrific Star Trek writer. If you've seen my reviews of his books, you know I think he just knocks it out of the park every time. He's a terrific Star Trek writer. And we get to see a Star Trek character, Jillian Taylor, return from Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. Now, I want to take a quick moment to say that I am incredibly pleased that Gallery Books is returning to publication, that they are putting out a book in February for Star Trek Picard, a book in May for The Next Generation and DS9, and then a book in July for the original series. I think this is great news. I think that this is exactly what we needed to hear. Star Trek has slowed down too much in the publishing space. We've gotten maybe like a middle grade book here or there or something, but we have not gotten Star Trek novels regularly since 2021. And even then, that wasn't a full slate of novels that year. So I'm very excited to see this happen, and I am hoping that this is a sign of what is to come from Star Trek books. I am hoping that this is just the first half of the year and that there's still 2 or 3 more books scheduled for the second half of the year from Gallery Books and Simon & Schuster. But I'm very excited for this, and I can't wait to see these covers, and as soon as I get the covers, I'll try to release them out to you guys to see as well. But we have one final piece of news today, and that is the news that Star Trek Prodigy has been saved. Woohoo! Star Trek Prodigy was originally canceled by Paramount Plus earlier this year, but it has found a new home. The show will be coming to Netflix this year. Season 1 will be debuting on Netflix this year, and Season 2 will debut sometime in early 2024. We don't have a solid release date for that yet, for either one. However, this is still fantastic news because this was one of those series that was canceled in cost-cutting measures and for various other reasons by Paramount earlier this year. It was among a number of other series that they had produced that they had canceled. And this is one of the first in a line of TV shows to get picked up by another streaming service, because so often now TV shows are only produced by the company that owns that property, and then they only will put it on their streaming service. So Disney only puts stuff on Disney Plus, Warner Brothers only puts stuff on Max, and Paramount only was putting stuff on Paramount Plus. But it is great to see that Paramount was willing to license the show to Netflix, and that Netflix was willing to take the risk and is willing to pick up Star Trek Prodigy. I think that this is a great move. I think that Netflix has a great domestic and international audience. I think that this will help them find new audience as well as old audience, and I think that this will allow the show to grow its audience and to be successful, that maybe they can do future seasons of the show. I think that this is also great news if you like books, because we got 3 Star Trek Prodigy middle grade novels that were, really short books, but they were lots of fun to read, and it was demoralizing because I felt that we would never get any more because there would be no excitement in the TV show. Who wants to read books from the series that's no longer being produced? The argument could be made for the original series and Next Gen and Voyager and all that stuff, I know, but this is different when it's a small kids show that has a much smaller audience. But I'm very excited that we are getting this new Star Trek Prodigy show, and that we're getting Season 2 as well as Season 1. I have not watched Season 1 yet. I did not get to watch it. It was canceled before I got into it, and I was planning to get into it eventually, but it was canceled before I could do that, so I will for sure be watching it when it goes to Netflix. So those are the various news stories today, all terrific news stories that I'm very excited about. So if you are excited about these stories, please let me know which one is the most interesting and exciting to you. Which book are you more interested in than the other? And please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'm Jonathan, and live long and prosper.